And here are the top stories for the hour. Russia launched missile and drone attacks on Ukraine overnight, hitting residential buildings and injuring around 20 people across the east and south. Missiles targeted Kyiv, Kharkiv, and the Kyiv region, while drones struck Zaporizhzhia. In Zaporizhzhia, 7 people were injured and several homes were damaged, leaving 500 without heating. Kharkiv saw at least 14 injuries, including a child. The attacks follow a pattern of targeting Ukraine's energy sector. The Zaporizhzhia region also houses Europe's largest nuclear power plant, which remains under Russian control. And now joining us is retired Major General Sudhakarji, senior geopolitical and strategic defense expert, joining us from Jaipur. Hi, sir. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Roshan. Thank you so much for inviting me for your show.
Fantastic. So let's dive right in. Sir, there have been many injuries. All of this really points to the fact that Russia is not stopping anytime soon. What do you make of this latest involvement as far as Russia and Ukraine is concerned?
It's a vicious cycle, Roshan, because once the conflict is on, it is very difficult to pinpoint what was the initial trigger. You see, a couple of hours back, it was Russia which was, Ukraine was bombing the Russian establishments. There were casualties. And be mindful of the fact of the Operation Spiderweb, which took place about a year back, close to 1 year back, almost 4,500 kilometers deep inside Russia, and bombing of 40 strategic bombers, aircrafts, with the help of drones. You know, those kind of disastrous kind of operations have been unleashed by Ukraine. So it is no point actually blaming either of the stakeholders or the warring factions. The issue here is that at the moment, there is a very serious and sincere effort going on towards some kind of a lasting peace between two warring nations, and whether it will meet the light at the end of the tunnel or not is anybody's guess. The time will tell. But I think the time has come wherein some kind of a restraint has to be exercised, both by Russia as also Ukraine. And when you go in for the lasting peace, to make some beginning, looking at it from the military perspective, I would say all guns must freeze. The barrels must be actually mothballed, no firing on either side. That's the only way. And both the parties, warring parties, they must fall back to respective sides by a couple of kilometers, or imaginary line should be regulated and monitored by a neutral party, and then the peace process should start. You know, going ahead with the peace process with this ding-dong battle going on from either side is actually going to inflict lots of damage to innocent civilians, which is just, you have explained in your question. This will go on endlessly without any sight for any kind of peace in times ahead. Back to you, Roshan.
Yes, it is a vicious cycle indeed. Please, sir, stay with us. We'll be right back with you. French President Emmanuel Macron will update France's new